Hello, I'm so excited to interview ghostwriter Cody Blocker. I find it fascinating to speak with ghostwriters, the visionaries behind so many books that we know and love. Cody, thank you for joining. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about some of the projects that you've written?
Yeah, thank you, Allison. It's great to be here. Yeah, my name's Cody Blocker. I've been writing, since I was a little kid, and I started my first novel in high school. It took me a little while to finish it, but over the last 2 decades, I've just fallen in love with writing, and I've just been focusing on the writing craft, how to tell good stories, how to write a novel, and I've been a ghostwriter for about 5 years now, and I've been on the Upwork platform for about 3 years. So I started out, doing lots of things, but I've really found my passion is in writing three specific genres, and that's the thriller genre, sci-fi, and fantasy. So I can write lots of stuff, but I really love those three genres, and that's where I specialize in now.
What is it about writing that you enjoy so much?
I just have creativity inside me, and I can't not write. I don't know why, but I just have to write and get that creativity out there. Um, I love I just love reading a good story. I started out as a reader, obviously, and I still am. So I love reading a good story, and I just love the plot and the pacing and the tension that can grow. And I just fell in love with it. So I can't not write. I don't know why. I just have to get this creative energy out.
Now, going off that, so you work with authors, of course. What is your favorite part of working with other authors and helping them to tell their story?
Yeah. The first time when I wrote my first book and I had that thing completed and I saw it in print, it was just so exhilarating. I loved that feeling. And so I really love when I get to talk to other people who want to do that, but they haven't done it yet, or they just can't quite complete that monumental task, because it is a long task writing a novel. I mean, there's a lot that goes in there, and to get it all finished and edited and published, there's a lot that goes in there, and I couldn't have done my first one without help. And I like to help others. So when I'm talking with an author or a potential author, and we start to get their ideas uh, uh, figured out, and we start to get the book together, I'll see their eyes light up, I'll see their posture change. They just get so excited when a lot of times people, like me, that they carried around this idea of a book for like 20 years or something, and to finally get it out, and to finally see the end at the end of the manuscript, and to see that physical book and the beautiful cover, they people just light up, and I love that feeling.
That's great. It's amazing that you get to help people's dreams become reality. Now, going off that, when it comes to writing a book, what would you say makes a great page turner?
Yeah, so there's a couple, the short answer is you got to write a good story, right? But that's not helpful. The long answer is that it's just like cooking a good dish, or making a good meal. There's a recipe, and you got to get stuff right to really knock it out of the park, right? So a couple of things that stick out to me is, you really have to understand pacing, right? You really have to understand this concept of a beginning and a middle and an end. It doesn't mean they all have to be even, and there's tons of ways of writing a good story with a beginning and a middle and end, but you have to understand the pacing. You have to have a good beginning, you have to have a good chunk of the middle that is exploring conflict and exploring growth in the character and character change, and you've got to have a solid ending. You can't have too much of a beginning and then a very little middle and end, and vice versa. So it's just a matter of learning how to figure that out and how to balance those elements within your story. And each story is a little bit different, but each story has to have a solid beginning and a solid middle and a solid end. So pacing is huge. The other thing I would say is the idea of building tension, right? When you talk about a page turner, right? The goal for me as a writer, when you read one of my books, I want you to pick up that book Most of my books are